Hi, this is Christiana Gaudet with more answers to your questions about tarot. Today's question comes from Ben. Ben writes, I'm very new to tarot. I purchased my Rider-Waite deck 6 months ago and am loving it. Yeah, me too. I am wondering if you could do a video about whether you take into account reversed cards in readings. I know some people don't. From the off, I've read cards reversed if they come up, but I do have to say it is incredibly challenging sometimes to decipher what the cards mean, especially court cards. From reading books and seeing what other people say online, it's clear that everyone has their own opinion. Yep, that's true. What do you think? Do you take into account reversed cards? And if so, do you have any tips on how to decipher the meaning? I particularly find the Page of Swords a little elusive. Ben, thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you for your very intelligent question. Let's see what we got here. Okay, first question, do I read reversals? Yes, I do. And I am very careful in dealing with my students to honor the fact that you don't have to. No one has to read reversals. And there are some decks and some tarot traditions that specifically do not honor reversals. But you know what? Every tarot tradition looks at dignities, whether a card is well dignified or ill dignified. Whether you're looking at elemental dignities, whether you're looking at reversals, whether you're just looking at the surrounding cards and getting a feel for it. I do encourage my students, especially my students who work with Waite decks, as you do. I encourage my students to use reversals because I think it gives you a more nuanced reading. I think it gives a little more information, a little more depth, and it gives you, the reader, more wiggle room to figure out exactly what's going on. Now, the big question here is, what does a reversal or an ill dignity do to a card? I want to come at it in two different ways. The first is to say that it changes the energy of the card. It may create a delay. It may create a resistance. It may create an opposite. And so when you look at a reversed card, you might just want to say, okay, what does that card mean to me in its upright position? And then look at the context, the position it falls in, the question you asked. Think about the context and say, well, what would this card mean in its upright position in this context? And then say, okay, how might the energy be changed? Could this be a resistance? Could this be an opposite? Could this be a delay? Could this be a lessening or an increase of an energy of this card? That's a way to come at it. Another way to come at it is to think that each card is a spectrum. A spectrum that can include a very positive meaning, a very negative meaning, and everything in between. And that when you reverse the card, you put it in a different place on the spectrum. I've always loved round tarot cards like the Mother Piece deck because there it's not just right side up or upside down, but it's read on a tilt. And the degree of the tilt gives you a sense of where it falls on that spectrum. So if you think about the card that way, that, you know, maybe it's resisting the energy, maybe it's pushing the energy, that's a way to look at it too. Now, you mentioned that reversed court cards are particularly difficult. And I've always thought, and I hate to say this because I hate to plant this idea in a student's mind, but I've always thought that court cards are particularly difficult to begin with. And I think that's because court cards can mean so many things. So let's look at your example, the Page of Swords. And I'm going to run through all the possible things that I think the Page of Swords in its upright position could mean. And then I will tell you all the things that I think it could mean in its reversed position. Before I do that, I'm going to give you two things to contemplate. A card can mean so many things. How do you know which meanings fit? Well, you listen to your intuition, which meanings resonate best for you. You look at the surrounding cards and see if that leads you in a particular direction. You think about the context of the card, the context of the question, which possible meaning fits best. But the other thing I want you to think about is that more than one meaning may be true at the same time. Another thing I want you to think about is that if you're really not sure, it is perfectly okay to say to your client, typically, when this card comes up, it could mean this, it could mean this, it could mean this, it could mean this. Which feels true for you? And often they'll say all of the above, or they might pick one or two. And so it's perfectly okay to give the whole boatload of possibilities to the client and let the client choose. So, all of that being said, here's the Page of Swords. And please recognize that when I tell you all the things the Page of Swords can mean to me, I might think of something new tomorrow. You know, this by no means is meant to be a comprehensive or a finite list. Page of Swords could indicate a young person, either male or female, born under an air sign, an Aquarian, a Libran, a Gemini. Page of Swords could specifically mean a young female. Page of Swords could be a student of any age, a person who is learning something new. Page of Swords could be a young person or a youthful person who is a very good communicator, who has a great deal of integrity. Page of Swords could come up to predict that you will be receiving a message, an email, a phone call, some news, a message that reveals the truth. Page of Swords could admonish you to speak your truth. Page of Swords could suggest that you take up writing. Page of Swords could tell you to become a student, either formally or informally. Page of Swords could tell you to become a student of communication or writing in some way. Page of Swords could remind you that at the end of the day, you must honor your integrity and speak your truth. Okay. Page of Swords reversed. Page of Swords reversed could be a young child with a speech impediment or a problem expressing their thoughts. Page of Swords reversed could be a young person who is being dishonest. Page of Swords reversed could be a student who's having a problem in school. Page of Swords reversed could suggest that you are not sure about your own educational direction. Page of Swords reversed could suggest that you're having a hard time speaking your truth. Page of Swords reversed could suggest that you do not know what the truth is or that you are resistant to hearing the truth. It could suggest that you are not telling the truth or that you are in denial about what the truth is. So there you go. I want to add one more thought. Since you mentioned the court cards and reversals, I have a very specific system for the court cards and reversals. And, you know, as you said, everyone has their own system. You have to develop your own system. But for me, the court card personalities are dictated by the element of their suit and their rank, and their personalities in their upright positions are good. All 16 court cards in their upright positions are decent people trying to do the right thing. When the court cards show up reversed, if they are indeed people, they are people with problems. People not doing the right thing, people having problems doing the right thing, people experiencing problems in life. That's how I do it. Ben, I want to thank you so much for your question. And please, if you have a question about tarot, do as Ben did. Send me an email.